You want to know what makes a person unstoppable? It's not money. It's not titles. It's not who shouts the loudest or who gets the most attention. It's the one who stays unbothered. Unbothered when critics talk. Unbothered when enemies scheme. Unbothered when life throws storms at them. That mindset makes you untouchable. See, most people spend their whole lives reacting. Somebody says something, they explode. Somebody doubts them, they shrink. Somebody disrespects them, they lose their peace. That's why so many never get where they're trying to go. Because their emotions, their pride, their insecurities are driving the car. But when you're unbothered, you've already made a decision. Nothing outside of me controls me. Not your words, not your looks, not your opinions. You can throw dirt, but I won't get dirty. You can push, but I won't fall. You can test me, but I won't react. Because my mission is too important, my peace is too valuable, and my focus is too sharp to waste on noise. Unbothered does not mean careless. It means disciplined. It means you feel the weight of the moment, but you choose not to carry what doesn't belong to you. It means you see the traps, but you don't step into them. It means you hear the insults, but you don't give them power. That calm, that steadiness, it drives people crazy because they can't control it. When you don't give them the reaction they want, you win without saying a word. When you don't give them your energy, you rise above the chaos. And when you rise above it, you become untouchable. Ask yourself who really holds the power. The one who gets provoked, or the one who refuses to be moved, the one who screams, or the one who stands silent and strong, the one who is shaken by every storm, or the one who remains the same no matter how hard the wind blows. Unbothered is a choice to protect your energy, a choice to value your peace, a choice to see the bigger picture. Not everything deserves your attention. Not everyone deserves your reaction. The greatest battles are not won by noise, but by discipline. So carry yourself with that mindset. Walk into every room with that calm strength. Let them talk, let them doubt, let them laugh, stay unbothered. Because the moment you master that, the moment you refuse to be controlled by what doesn't matter, you become something few ever become: untouchable. Unbothered is discipline, not weakness. Many people look at someone who refuses to react, someone who stays calm while being tested, and they mistake it for fear or passivity. They think silence means surrender, that walking away means defeat, that holding your peace means you're too weak to fight back. But the truth is, nothing takes more strength than staying unbothered when everything around you is demanding a reaction. Discipline is the ability to master yourself in the moments when your pride wants to rise, when your anger wants to explode, when your emotions want to take over. That is not weakness. That is strength at its highest level. It takes no effort to lash out. It takes no effort to argue back, to meet insult with insult, to let yourself get dragged into noise. Anyone can do that. But it takes discipline to breathe, to think, to choose not to give away your power. Unbothered is the result of self-control, and self-control is the foundation of real strength. The person who cannot control themselves will always be controlled by others. The person who cannot discipline their emotions will always be manipulated by provocations. But the one who chooses discipline, who chooses to remain calm, chooses freedom. Being unbothered does not mean you don't feel anything. It doesn't mean the words don't sting, or the disrespect doesn't hurt, or the challenges don't frustrate you. It means you feel all of it, but you decide not to let it control your response. That decision is discipline. It is the difference between a fighter who swings wildly and one who waits for the right moment. One wastes energy, the other conserves it. One is loud, the other is focused. One is controlled by emotion, the other controls emotion. Which one wins in the end? Always the one with discipline. When you are unbothered, people will misunderstand you. They'll say you don't care, when in reality, you care deeply. Just not about the wrong things. You care about your peace, your growth, your purpose, your focus. You care too much about your mission, to waste time fighting distractions. Discipline is knowing what deserves your energy and what does not. Weakness is giving attention to everything that demands it. Strength is choosing carefully. Strength is saying, you don't get my reaction, you don't get my focus, you don't get my energy. That choice is not weakness. That choice is the highest level of control. Discipline also requires patience. When you stay unbothered, you resist the urge for instant satisfaction. Reacting feels good in the moment. Arguing back, clapping back, raising your voice, these things give temporary relief to your pride. But that satisfaction fades quickly, and you're left with the damage. Discipline chooses long-term peace over short-term pride. Discipline chooses dignity over noise. Discipline says, I will not lower myself to win a battle that costs me my character. That is not weakness. That is wisdom wrapped in strength. Look at history, at leaders, at great minds. The ones remembered are not the loudest, but the most disciplined. They didn't waste time answering every critic. They didn't waste words on every insult. They didn't fight battles that didn't matter. They carried themselves with composure, with restraint, with a kind of calm that made them unshakable. That composure did not come from weakness. It came from discipline. It came from knowing that unbothered is the state where your energy is saved for building, not wasted on proving. Discipline in being unbothered also protects your reputation. People watch how you respond under pressure. They measure your strength not by how loud you are, but by how steady you remain when provoked. When you explode, you show them your buttons. You reveal your triggers, your weaknesses, your lack of control. But when you stay calm, when you stay composed, you show them discipline. And discipline demands respect. Even those who try to provoke you will eventually respect the fact that they cannot move you. That is the quiet power of being unbothered. Weakness is letting everyone dictate how you feel. Strength is choosing your own state of mind. Discipline is the bridge between the two. Every time you stay unbothered in the face of provocation, you train that discipline. Every time you hold back when pride screams for you to act, you strengthen it. Every time you choose silence over noise, calm over chaos, focus over distraction, you sharpen it. That sharpening builds a character that cannot be broken easily, a mindset that cannot be shaken easily, a presence that feels untouchable. Unbothered is discipline because it takes courage to rise above what others are drowning in. It takes vision to see the bigger picture when others are trapped in the moment. It takes restraint to value your peace over your pride. That restraint is not weakness. That calm is not weakness. That choice to stay steady is not weakness. It is the clearest display of inner power, the kind of power that does not need to shout, does not need to prove, does not need to react. It simply stands steady and unbothered because discipline has taken the place of weakness. Your focus is too valuable for distractions. Every single day, life places demands on your attention. People want your time. Situations want your energy. Emotions want your reaction. If you gave in to all of them, you would have nothing left for yourself, nothing left for your goals, nothing left for your purpose. Focus is not just the ability to look at something, it is the ability to guard your attention like it is treasure, because that is exactly what it is. Treasure can be stolen if you leave it unprotected, and distractions are thieves that come disguised as urgency, as temptation, as provocation. If you don't protect your focus, you will lose it before you even realize it has been taken from you. Distractions don't always come in the form of enemies. Sometimes they are opportunities that look appealing, but pull you away from what matters most. Sometimes they are arguments that don't deserve your voice. Sometimes they are negativity that doesn't deserve your energy. The cost of giving in is not always visible right away, but every distraction chips away at your progress. Every detour delays your destination. Every wasted reaction drains you of strength you could have used for building. To stay unbothered is to understand that your focus is limited, and you cannot afford to waste it on what doesn't move you forward. Focus is a weapon. sharper than any word, stronger than any noise. When you keep your eyes on the goal, nothing can shake you, nothing can pull you away. Distractions only have power when you look at them, when you give them attention. Without your attention, they are powerless. That is why people will try to provoke you, because they know that if they can take your focus off your purpose, they can weaken you without ever touching you. But if you remain unbothered, if you remain fixed on your vision, their attempts fall flat and you continue to move forward untouched. Guarding your focus requires clarity. You have to know what matters and what doesn't. You have to know what deserves your energy and what doesn't. Without clarity, you will chase everything and catch nothing. Distractions feed on confusion. They feed on people who haven't decided who they are and where they are going. But once you have made a clear decision about your path, you begin to see distractions for what they really are, traps designed to waste your time. And when you recognize a trap, you can avoid it. That avoidance is not weakness, it is wisdom. Your focus is too valuable because it shapes your future. What you focus on grows. If you focus on negativity, you create more negativity. If you focus on arguments, you create more conflict. If you focus on problems, they multiply in your mind. But if you focus on purpose, it grows. If you focus on discipline, it strengthens. If you focus on peace, it expands. Where your attention goes, your life follows. Every distraction you entertain is a seed planted in soil that could have been used for something greater. That is why protecting focus is protecting your destiny. Distractions often come disguised as urgency. People will try to convince you that you have to answer right now, you have to argue right now, you have to react right now. But urgency is often an illusion. The truth is, very few things actually deserve an immediate response. That pressure to react instantly is how you lose control. Focus gives you the ability to pause, to step back, to decide whether something deserves your energy. And most of the time, you'll find it doesn't. That pause is power. That pause is protection. That pause is how you keep your focus too valuable to waste. Your focus is not only valuable for your growth, but also for your peace. When you allow distractions to occupy your mind, you invite chaos into your spirit. You find yourself drained, frustrated, and restless, not because life is against you, but because you gave your energy to things that didn't deserve it. Staying unbothered is not about ignoring everything. It is about choosing wisely what deserves your energy. Protecting your focus is protecting your peace, and protecting your peace is protecting your strength. Think about how much time has been lost to meaningless arguments, how much energy has been wasted proving points that didn't matter, how much focus has been stolen by situations that had no place in your future. Every moment given to distraction is a moment stolen from progress. You cannot get that time back. The value of your focus is in its scarcity. You only have so much of it each day, and once it's gone, it's gone. The wise know this, and so they use their focus with precision, giving it only to what brings them closer to their vision. The truth is, the world will always have distractions. You cannot eliminate them, but you can rise above them by refusing to be moved. You can train your mind to see the difference between what deserves your energy and what does not. You can choose to stay unbothered by noise because you know your focus is a currency too precious to waste. And when you do that, you begin to move differently. You begin to carry yourself differently because you are no longer reacting to everything around you. You are directing your life with intention, with clarity, with focus guarded like the treasure it is. The one who stays calm holds the power. In a world where people are quick to react, quick to lash out, quick to let their emotions lead them, calmness is rare. But calmness is not emptiness. Calmness is not ignorance. Calmness is control. When everyone else is loud, the one who is still speaks louder without saying a word. That calm is a position of strength because it shows you are not controlled by chaos. You are not controlled by provocation. You are not controlled by the environment around you. You are in charge of yourself. And that self-mastery gives you the kind of power no one can take away. Calmness is intimidating. It frustrates those who try to provoke you because they cannot move you. They throw their words, their insults, their energy at you, but nothing sticks. You don't give them what they want, and that unsettles them more than any reaction ever could. Calmness is a silent form of dominance, a reminder that not everything deserves a response, and that silence itself can be the loudest answer. When you stay calm, you shift the balance of power. Instead of being dragged into someone else's storm, you stand like the mountain that no storm can move. Calmness does not mean you don't feel the weight of the moment. It means you refuse to let the weight break your balance. You may feel anger rising, the pride demanding to be defended, frustration pushing to be released. But when you stay calm, you make the choice to remain steady instead of giving in. That choice is power. Anyone can explode, but not everyone can stand still. Anyone can argue, but not everyone can hold their peace. The world is full of noise, but only a few know how to quiet the storm inside. Those who do hold the real strength. Calmness gives you the advantage of clarity. When you are calm, you can see what others miss. You notice details, you think through consequences, you recognize traps before stepping into them. Those who lose their calm lose their focus. They can no longer see clearly because their emotions cloud their vision. But the one who stays calm holds the power of perspective. Calmness allows you to think, and thinking allows you to win. Wars have been lost by hot tempers, but victories have been won by those who kept their composure. When you remain calm in the face of provocation, you protect your energy. Anger burns quickly, but it also burns you. Outbursts might feel powerful in the moment, but they drain you. They leave you empty, restless, exhausted. Calmness, on the other hand, conserves strength. It keeps you steady, keeps you clear, keeps you centered. The one who stays calm does not waste energy on what doesn't matter. And because of that, they always have more to give to what truly does. That conservation of energy is another layer of power, because while others are drained from reacting, you are still strong, still focused, still ready. Calmness is also a mirror. When you respond to someone's chaos with calm, they see themselves more clearly. They see their own lack of control, their own noise, their own instability. Your calm reflects their storm back at them, and that reflection often weakens them more than any words ever could. Calmness shifts the battlefield. Instead of fighting on their terms, you force them to confront themselves. That quiet control is power because it changes the dynamic without you having to lift a finger. The one who stays calm is harder to manipulate. People will always test you, always try to push your buttons, always try to draw you into their drama. But when you are calm, you don't give them access to your emotions. They can't pull you into their game because you refuse to play it. They can't control you because you've already taken control of yourself. Calmness is like a shield that protects your mind, your heart, your focus. It keeps you from being pulled into battles that are not yours to fight. That ability to remain untouchable is power in its purest form. Calmness builds trust. People are drawn to those who stay composed under pressure because calmness is a sign of reliability. If you can remain steady in storms, others know they can rely on you. If you can control yourself, others believe you can lead. Calmness is not only power for yourself, it is power that inspires others. It shows them strength doesn't always need to be loud, and authority doesn't always need to be aggressive. Sometimes the greatest authority comes from the quiet presence that never wavers. The one who stays calm holds the power because calmness is rare, and rarity makes something valuable. Most people lose themselves when tested. They let circumstances dictate their mood. They let words dictate their reaction. They let pressure dictate their choices. But the calm person refuses to surrender control. They walk through storms without breaking. They endure pressure without cracking. They carry peace in places where there is none. That peace is not passive, it is active. It is the weapon that disarms conflict, the anchor that keeps the ship steady, the strength that does not need to be announced. That kind of calm is not weakness. It is mastery, and mastery is power. Not every battle deserves your reaction. Life will constantly present you with opportunities to fight, to argue, to defend yourself, to prove a point. People will throw words at you, create rumors, question your character, doubt your ability, and challenge your peace. Every one of these moments is an invitation to a battle, but wisdom teaches you that not every invitation should be accepted. Some battles are traps meant to distract you. Some battles are illusions meant to drain you. Some battles are so small that winning them would cost you more than losing ever could. The power lies in knowing which ones deserve your reaction and which ones you must walk away from. Your time, your energy, your peace are limited resources. If you waste them on every battle that comes your way, you will run out before you reach the ones that matter. Every argument you enter, every insult you respond to, every unnecessary conflict you allow yourself to be pulled into steals a piece of your strength. The tragedy is not losing a battle, but losing yourself in battles that never mattered in the first place. You cannot afford to let your destiny be delayed because you got caught up fighting wars that had no purpose. It takes strength to fight, but it takes greater strength to walk away. Walking away does not mean weakness, it means wisdom. It means you see the bigger picture and refuse to let small things derail you. Some people fight to feed their pride, others fight to prove themselves, but when you know who you are, you don't need to answer every challenge. Silence becomes your shield, restraint becomes your weapon, and your refusal to engage becomes your victory. There are battles designed to bait you. Someone insults you because they want your reaction. Someone disrespects you because they want you to step down to their level. Someone spreads lies because they want to see you lose control. If you give them the reaction they want, you give them power over you. But when you stay unbothered, when you refuse to fight battles beneath you, you take their power away. Nothing confuses and frustrates an opponent more than a person who refuses to be moved. Not every battle deserves your reaction, because some are meant to waste your time. Time is one of the most precious things you have. You cannot buy it, you cannot store it, you cannot get it back once it is gone. Every second you spend in a meaningless argument is a second taken from your purpose. Every day you spend chasing someone else's drama is a day lost from your vision. The cost of reacting is not just emotional, it is progress stolen. When you choose your battles wisely, you protect your time, and protecting your time is protecting your destiny. Some battles aren't even about you. They are projections of someone else's pain, someone else's insecurity, someone else's jealousy. They drag you in because they are unsettled within themselves. But you cannot heal them by fighting them. Their struggle is not your struggle, and their war is not your war. When you recognize that, you stop carrying the weight of battles that don't belong to you. You release yourself from the burden of needing to prove, needing to defend, needing to win in places where there is nothing to gain. When you save your energy for the battles that truly matter, you fight with more strength. The battles worth fighting are the ones that protect your purpose, the ones that build your character, the ones that push you closer to your vision. These battles require focus, discipline, and resilience. If you waste yourself on small fights, you will be empty when the real test comes. But when you choose wisely, you conserve your energy, you sharpen your strategy, and you enter the real fight prepared. Restraint is a mark of maturity. Anyone can react. Anyone can argue. Anyone can throw words back when words are thrown at them. But not everyone can stay calm. Not everyone can walk away. Not everyone can rise above. The ability to control yourself when provoked is proof of growth. It is proof that you are no longer ruled by ego, no longer trapped by pride, no longer enslaved by the need to always respond. That control is what separates the strong from the weak, the focused from the distracted, the wise from the foolish. When you understand that not every battle deserves your reaction, You stop living to prove something to others and start living to protect something within yourself. You stop wasting your fire on every spark and save it for the flames that matter. You stop seeing every challenge as a threat and start seeing it as a test of your discipline. In the end, the measure of strength is not how many battles you fight, but how many you refuse to fight because you know they were never worth your energy. Unbothered makes you untouchable. When you carry a spirit that refuses to be shaken by insults, by doubt, by disrespect, you walk in a strength that most people will never understand. The world is constantly trying to get a reaction out of you, pulling at your emotions, testing your patience, distracting your focus. Some will test you because they are jealous, some because they are insecure, some simply because they want to see you break. But when you stand unbothered in the middle of all of it, you show that nothing outside of you has power over what is inside of you. That unbothered mindset is what makes you untouchable. Untouchable does not mean no one tries to touch you. It means no matter how hard they try, they cannot reach the core of who you are. They can talk, but their words bounce off. They can laugh, but their mockery doesn't sink in. They can question you, but their doubt does not slow you down. Because when you are unbothered, you are anchored in something deeper than opinions, deeper than emotions, deeper than pride. You are rooted in purpose. You are grounded in discipline. You are built on self-control. And when those things are your foundation, you cannot be moved by surface-level storms. People who are easily bothered give away their power. The smallest insult ruins their day. The slightest opposition makes them quit. The tiniest distraction derails their focus. They become prisoners to what others think, slaves to what others say, victims to what others do. But the one who is unbothered cannot be held captive like that. You hold the keys to your peace, and no one else can unlock it. You decide what gets your attention and what gets ignored. You decide what affects you and what doesn't. That choice, that control, that calm is what makes you free, and freedom is what makes you untouchable. The unbothered mindset is not cold, it is controlled. It does not mean you feel nothing. It means you master what you feel. You recognize anger, but you do not let it drive you. You recognize disrespect, but you do not let it define you. You recognize provocation, but you do not let it own you. Every reaction is a decision, and when you refuse to give in to every provocation, you show mastery over yourself. That mastery is rare because most people live as reactors instead of creators. They react to circumstances, to people, to insults, to doubts. But the unbothered person creates their own response, their own calm, their own direction. That's why they are untouchable. Unbothered people frustrate their enemies because they don't play the game that's designed to trap them. Someone insults you to make you angry. You don't respond. Someone mocks you to throw you off your path. You stay focused. Someone tries to pull you into chaos. You stay still. The more unbothered you remain, the less control others have over you. The less control they have, the weaker their attacks become. And the weaker their attacks, the stronger your position. Eventually, people realize they cannot shake you, and that realization alone makes you untouchable. To be unbothered, you have to value your peace above your pride. Pride wants to clap back. Pride wants to prove itself. Pride wants to answer every challenge. But peace whispers, let it go. Peace says your time is too valuable, your energy is too precious, your mission is too great to waste on small things. Pride seeks attention, but peace seeks focus. Pride looks for validation, but peace looks for vision. When you choose peace over pride, you become a fortress no insult can penetrate, no rumor can weaken, no disrespect can shake. That is what it means to be untouchable. Being unbothered does not mean you avoid every challenge. It means you choose your challenges wisely. You know which battles are worth your energy and which ones are distractions. You know which voices deserve your attention and which ones deserve your silence. You know when to stand firm and when to walk away. That kind of wisdom is rare, but it is what sets you apart. Because the truth is, Not every mountain needs to be climbed. Not every argument needs to be answered. Not every fight needs to be fought. By refusing to be bothered by what doesn't matter, you preserve your strength for what does. And when you preserve your strength, you stand taller, stronger, more unshakable. The untouchable mindset is not about proving anything to the world. It is about protecting something within yourself. Protecting your focus, protecting your peace, protecting your purpose. You stop living for the noise outside and start living for the vision inside. And when you live like that, you rise above the pettiness, the distractions, the provocations. You stop being controlled by what doesn't matter. And that freedom alone is what makes you untouchable.